Jealous Marine is now my new religion. That was the most adorable phone call I think I've seen in this show and in anime in general. Now, obviously, there's a misunderstanding there because for her, of course, she's in love, as she continuously reminds us. But the idea of some other girl going over to his home alone, even though said girl is far too young to even be dating him, nor does he have romantic feelings for her. Just the entire misunderstanding and the pout was amazing, and her facial reactions were in a league of their own this week. The shark teeth, the pout, the flusteredness. I mean, that moment where they were trying on clothes and you had that one dude who was like just working there assisting. Basically, he's like, oh, is that her boyfriend? No, of course, he's way too average, she's hot. And, you know, they both have this very almost like, I can't believe what I'm seeing face, because it doesn't match him, right? It's just not the clothes for him. He has a style, and as plain as that style is, that's what Gojo rocks. And then you get the realization that she's loving everything that he's wearing. It's not that she's putting on things because he looks horrible and she's like, okay, I gotta find him something that works. She's just blown away by the fact that someone can look that hot in no matter what they wear. She is so in love that everything about him just screams perfection, and that's the cutest shit ever. But to see just the escalation of their romance in this episode, I mean, the cosplay that he ends up making her from a fighting game, the underboob power is too strong. As soon as I saw what they were looking at, I was like, my man is getting nosebleeds. He's taking far too long in the shower after certain cosplay photo shoots to begin with. To have that on her, like, he's not going to survive. Like, he's going to be in the ER before supper's even ready. And the idea that they make it, there's no issues there. But then when she starts putting it on, that's when his nosebleeds were going off so strongly he was about to die from blood loss. And I love how they always have drama without it being overboard drama. Because when he denies the request to shoot the photo, right? Because he's like, no, you're gonna have to do it by yourself. She's heartbroken. It's almost, you can see her heart shatter into a million pieces within a moment's notice. And rather than lingering on a cliffhanger so people tune into the next episode, they immediately resolve it. He's like, I can't look at you. This cosplay shows so much skin. I won't be able to stare at you, and I just can't deal with it. And it goes from heartbreak to her laughing her ass off, hitting him in a jokingly way, to then teasing, saying, would you like me to send you a pic when I'm wearing it alone? This flirting and bickering and back and forth dynamic is the best I've seen. I might go as far to say they might be my favorite anime couple, and they're not even officially a couple yet. Like, that's how much I'm loving what I'm seeing here. And how whatever they're doing, whether it's clothes shopping, Sugar Mama Marin comes in saying, hey, I'm gonna buy you an outfit, Mama's gonna hook you up. I just love what she has to offer and how Gojo feels so realistic for this situation. For him, you know, the idea of wanting to paint and basically create these dolls, that's the passion that he's always felt bad about admitting to. And for Marine, when she hears about how he understands what it's like to have a passion and not being able to admit it, she misunderstands it for him cosplaying, which last week I was mentioning I would love to see him cosplay with the group, and it seems like we might be building up to that before the season wraps up. But maybe that's also wishful thinking. But I love seeing their dynamic and how perfectly they mesh together. And even in an episode where you have Juju literally have a crush on Gojo, it's not anything that's forced or drama-filled. She's a girl who's never interacted with another boy in her life. The first boy who does, not only does he create these beautiful cosplays, he actually cares about the things that he's making. So of course, there's an attraction there and there's a crush dynamic, but it's nothing about being a wedge in between these two, because as we can clearly see every single episode, the heart wants what the heart wants, and even though people can be flustered by other people, we can tell where both of these characters' desires truly lie, and that is right here, Marin and Gojo, and it is fantastic to see their chemistry blossom, as we have an equally impressive side cast continuing to dominate the screen whenever they're present. I love seeing the sisters in this episode, just looking at the photos afterwards. I mean, the beginning of the episode, first couple of minutes, we get to see these like very serious shots. I mean, Marin is rocking it, she's becoming the character until she becomes a blubbering mess, and she's just melting at the cuteness, and they're all saying, no, the character doesn't act like that, you have to be stern and powerful. It's just fantastic to see, and then to get the kind of aftermath of the sisters, because I mean, to be sisters for that long, clearly a very good connection, and not realize that your little sister wanted to cosplay, you're going to feel a little bad that, you know, a boy that you recently met was able to figure it out before yourself. And the idea that she's admitting that, you know what, I'm going to get a part-time job someday. I'm going to save up. I'm going to start cosplaying as well. As you have this admitting that, you know, I'm actually jealous of your body, which is something that I bet Shinju never really expected to hear from Juju, because when you consider it, right, she matured faster than probably everyone else in her grade. That's something that's going to be a little socially awkward. And have your big sister say, I wish I had your body because then I would be able to do all these different cosplays. I mean, as we see, right, it was actually pretty easy after they realized what to do for a big-chested person to become someone who could look like a small-chested male, right? And the fact that it's a lot harder in her mind to become all these other characters because she's very petite. It's not even just the lack of breast size, it's the fact that she is a lot shorter. And it would actually take a lot more for her to become taller and more well-endowed in those ways than it would for her. And it's interesting to have someone admit that jealousy and envy while also not ruining their relationship in the process, just getting some things out in the air without forcing drama. There's two big points in this episode, and those two, whether it was the sisters, which easily could have had a falling out about, oh, you know, I'm jealous of you, to just the idea of Marin thinking Gojo hates her, they just simply resolve it in human ways, and anyone who's been in any situations, even if they're not exactly similar, we can relate to things in our past that we understand that it's easy to get out of what could be a big conflict and resolve it with a simple phrase. And it's amazing to see what this show is capable of, and how they really just want us to root for the main two's romance, as we simultaneously want to see the side casts excel in their own unique ways. I mean, given that Marin's kind of character in general, I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if she still does send him a pic of her in that outfit, even though she's talking about how she was embarrassed. We know damn well if he would have responded, yes please, she might have got embarrassed in the moment and then sent it later. But it's just great to see the numerous, misunderstanding moments as we simultaneously are still progressing their relationship and blossoming it. It's not other people tagging along, it's them going out on a one-on-one date. They just really haven't admitted to the fact that they kind of are dating. It's just this really interesting middle zone where you can tell they both want the other. They're a little confused. I mean, Gojo's a little more confused than Marin, but still, it's great to see how much they're progressing things while still having fun with the teasing in a wholesome and not edgy way, is all things considered. The show's a 10 out of 10, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving the details they're putting in, whether it's the anime that they're watching, feeling like a uniquely animated product for their world, the facial reactions, the embarrassment, to just the careful detail in the cosplay design. This show is some of the best I've ever seen. I really, really love it, and I hope we get a season 2 someday. Thoughts and feelings on this week's episode, favorite moment, favorite face, if you can pick one. I think the mixture of shark teeth and kind of like, I can't believe someone else was in your home is my favorite. But let me know yours down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. Until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.